Guernsey.
What about the day we saw Dermot chest him out at Wavell, I think it was.
So here we go. Final quarter. The Eagles well and truly in control. Alessio tries to take it out of the middle. It's a high kick. That could bring more rain. Hills couldn't take it. Pushed towards Hardwick. His kick is partly smothered, however. Matera may get a chance for a run again. He's just so exciting to watch. Puts it out towards Waterman, and now Turley on the boundary line, and the ball taken over. A throw in on the outer wing.
Rick Malthouse has taken Don Pike off. May just be precautionary, and Tony Evans is on to take that roving role.
Alessio and Turnbull. Alessio winning it with the left hand. Denham tries to get it down towards Hurd. With him is Jakovic. Hurd gets the hand pass away. Now that was good. Here's an opportunity for Ross. Kicks it high. There's been a whistle and holding down the ground, and it's gone to Paul Salmon. Illegal holding on Salmon. We'll see him have a shot directly in front and only 35 metres out.
Yes, and Michael, that's one of the very few advantages of having the three umpires.
Salmon hasn't kicked a goal today.
I'd like to see it in a grand final with 2 minutes to go and give it to the opposition who are trailing.
There's his kick. Jason Ball does his absolute best to put him off, and the crowd love it.
Well, he's been their nemesis in other games, hasn't he, Sandy?
Exactly right. Last couple with virtually the last kick of the day. Not today.
11-11 plays 4-9 as McKenna prepares to kick it back in for the West Coast. Matera would be half a chance close to the 50-metre line. The precision that Guy McKenna kicks the football, this time he elects to go long. And a good mark taken by Ball. I was impressed with his game last week, and equally as impressed, he's been quite disciplined this afternoon. Matera at the back, but a free kick just before that has been paid to McIntosh out there on centre wing. Long kick by McIntosh, approaches the 50-metre line. Kick off the ground by Turley, only goes as far as Hills. He tries to get the handball clear of that pack of players. Unsuccessful, so the umpire will ball it up just forward of the 50-metre line in the West Coast half-forward region. Alessio doing the ruck work with Turnbull. It's gathered by Lewis. He hasn't done much, but his ball handling has been pretty well spot on. His kick across the half-forward line, no mark. Mainwaring for another possession, gets it back behind him to Heading. He's dispossessed. Good play by the Bombers to get the ball clear. And it's Vasidi's kick. Nearly taken by Hurd. Well, if the mark was paid to Turley, that would have paid that to Hurd.
Exactly.
And the kick is gone to the left half-forward region where the mark is taken by Hart. He gets it off to Lewis. Lewis to the full forward area. Drops it short. The mark is taken by Anthony Danaher. Gives it to his brother, who goes to the outer side. Back towards the middle once again. They've got the numbers as Denham takes it from Alessio, runs his full distance, then kicks towards half-forward, a little too far. Salmon off the ground. Now Wanganeen, an airy. A dead set fresh air as Jason Ball comes in and pushes it over the line.
That's such a good idea. You see maybe a broken leg or a knee injury, that thing that Wanganeen tried then?
Yes, well, he wasn't sure what Worsfold was going to do though, Rob. I mean, his instinct was to kick the ball off the ground, and Worsfold dived. So it's a split-second decision.
I guess he figures too, he could kick one like he did a couple of weeks ago. He may as well have another go. Worsfold caught by Wanganeen, and he still keeps going, pushing towards goal. I'll get there eventually, he says. Not this time, as McKenna steadies it down to Hart in the back pocket. Jakovic is running with him, but Hart takes his time, kicks it into the middle towards Evans. At the back is Turnbull. The big man does well. Scoops it up, then belts it up towards Peter Wilson. One grab is not enough, said the umpire. Simons gets the hand pass away. The Bombers finding scoring very, very difficult today. Wilson caught. Ball spills free. Alessio in trouble. Gets it away towards Buick. It's like a piece of soap for him. Eventually he gets it up to Manton, who's almost down to centre wing.
Manton on the logo, the sponsor's logo, and swings around, kicks it in towards half-forward. Jakovic. Well, that's arrogance for you. One-hander at centre-half back. Gets the handball to Hart. Hart threads the ball through to Kemp. Kemp's kick up towards half-forward. Opportunity for Turley. Dropped the mark, but went after it again. Opposition there is O'Donnell. And O'Donnell, in his 150th game, has been one of Essendon's quieter players. He spent some time on the interchange bench early in the first half. The ball spills at the back for Wilson. Wilson gives it to Hart. Hart's just forward of the centre. He's nearly up to centre half forward, but still probably 2 kicks from goal. He goes short, and that's effective. The mark is taken by Main Waring. Main Waring a little pass. That's all right too. He's found Evans. Buick arriving a little late on the scene. Nothing much in that. And Evans gets up a little gingerly, but he'll shoot for goal from about 40, maybe a little closer than 40 metres out. And this is pleasing the West Coast Eagles fans. Roscoe, this interchange.
Paul Salmon off the ground and Cummings to come back on to go to full forward.
I suppose Sheedy now acknowledging that Essendon can't win the game, so taking one of his key players off the field as Evans goes for goal. And this is to the left-hand side. Would you think that that would be the ploy? I mean, they've still got 8 weeks to go, and if they're going to have any chance this year, and they'll go after it. Yep. 11-12 plays 4-9 with 15 minutes left.
Jakovic from behind can't stop James Hird. From half-back, he drifted towards Chris Danaher on centre wing. He takes a good mark under plenty of opposition from Brett Heady. Danaher floats it down towards Delaney. It spills from his hand. Well done by McKenna to the run of Mainwaring. Shepherding sees him clear. He wobbles it up towards half forward. The bouncing ball just about eludes them all. Taken by Buick, short for Denham. Sean Denham. Back towards Wanganeen and Ross. Got the hand pass away to Calthorpe. Another one to Hardwick. Turley claims him, but he gets his kick. Down towards Cummings and Ross. Hart is also there. Waterman too. McKenna coming in late across Delaney. Now Wanganeen gets it clear. Cummings for another one. Pushes it across the face of goal. Through by 1 behind.
There's been a dour struggle for Essendon, hasn't it? Just to get those, whatever they've got, 4 goals, 10.
Yes. Yep. Hard work all the way through, wasn't it, Robbo? They just haven't shown any spark at all, which is due credit to the Eagles' miserly defence that they have been the last few years.
Russell Williams warming up on the sidelines. It looks as though he'll get a run shortly for the Bombers. Waterman kicks to the outer side. Use of the body by Hird. Masiti trying to get in. Buick gets it out for Hird. A high kick up towards full forward. A little too far for Jakovic, but he's quite happy to see it over the line.
Probably hasn't done his Brownlow medal chances any harm. Rossi's had 14 and 6. Glenn Jakovic
always stands out when he gets to the footy too, doesn't he?
Boundary throw in the left forward pocket for Essendon. Little kick off the ground by Hart. Didn't go the required distance. Taken by Hardwick. In turn to Wanganeen. Wanganeen well done. Not blasting away off that left foot. He's found Ross. Now Lachlan Ross, I've seen him play quite a few reserve games of football, and he stands out in the reserves. Just finding it a little difficult to step up that notch in pace, but he has a chance to kick his first goal for the day. And off to the right hand side, so he registers just one behind.
Paul Hills has been taken from the ground. He's had a pretty tough day on Matera, and Russell Williams is the player number 34 to come on to replace him.
Kemp from the back pocket drifts it to half-back at Hart. Eagles are well in control of proceedings now. Waterman thought about Jakovic, then spins around onto the left foot. That's what he likes, to Banfield in the middle. You better be quick. He is. To half forward towards Lewis. Mainwaring sockers off the ground. Doesn't gather a great deal of distance. Oh, Hardwick has the ball held. Was he pushed in the back? Well, very hard, you think?
I would have thought it was an obvious free kick.
Thrown up on the 50-metre line. Alessio, Lewis. Neither able to get clear. Socket away from Hart, back towards Kemp. Well done by Williams. First touch since coming back onto the ground to Calthorpe, whose kick goes astray. Straight towards McKenna, who gives it to Mainwaring. Chris Mainwaring's got a bit of time to size up the situation. But he too finds the red and black Guernsey of Steve Alessio, who pumps it back to James Hurd. Over the top he goes to Ross. He's on centre wing and in trouble. Back to Hurd he goes. Looking for something. Finds Watson. And Tim Watson on right half forward.
Mainwaring been giving a spell, and Tony Godden comes on to replace him.
Done a good job Mainwaring today. Here's an opportunity for Cummings in towards full forward. The flying Matera can't get a hand to it, and it's through for one behind.
Topped off his game if he'd have dived for that and roped it in, wouldn't it?
A bit of a surprise that he didn't, really.
Mainwaring 25 kicks and 4 handballs.
Another grand performance by him and a big year by Chris Mainwaring.
He's a good player across the centre line for the West Coast. A kick in. Oh, Wanganeen, spectacular mark. Just throws himself at gay abandon. And his kick will be from 40 metres. Oh, no fear at all in that man. Gavin Wanganeen from 40 metres for Essendon's 5th goal. It's up to the goal line. It's helped over for a rush behind of the Bombers. A bit of an anti-climax. I think most people thought that this would be a fairly tight game between these two teams that certainly will figure later on in the year in the finals. The West Coast have dominated since quarter time. They kicked 5-1 in the first term to 1-4 and have controlled the game from there on. McIntosh, well controlled. Matera goes back to Evans. Evans kick down towards half forward. It's punched away. Ball rebounds to Heady. Alessio, good tackle. A little kick off the ground by Turnbull. Turley handles the awkward ball quite nicely. Gets around onto his right foot. Kicks it in towards half forward, but the mark is taken back there by Calthorpe. In his endeavours to move the ball on quickly, the kick fortuitously finishes with Delaney. Delaney is at centre half back for the Bombers.
Kicks it back towards the middle. McIntosh, first to pick it up. Gives it across to Kemp, and now Matera, and look at Lewis. Sneaking away from Delaney. He's going to possibly have a shot from some 48 metres out, although I think he may be keen to pass. He thought about it for a moment.
Lewis 9 and 4, but he always looks polished when he goes near the football.
And he always attracts a good player too, Robbo, which frees up someone else in that forward line.
Doesn't want to kick it long. Wanted it short for Banfield. He was under pretty stiff attention. And a throw in the right forward pocket. Well, it's going to be an important psychological victory for the West Coast Eagles today. The two coaches have been playing games of cat and mouse and mind games, saying you're the yardstick, I'm the yardstick. As Manton comes across the face of goal to Hardwick, but there's no doubt about it. The West Coast Eagles sitting on top of the ladder, saying, well, here we are, knock us off the perch if anyone's good enough. But there's still a long way to go in the season. Williams spending considerable time on the bench. Russell Williams in only his 3rd game for the Bombers. Godden, but Williams again close to the boundary line, gives it across to Denham, who wobbles it towards centre wing. Jakovic and Hurd, and together they see it over the line on centre wing. Inside 9 minutes now. Alessio wins it from the throw-in. Gary O'Donnell, not a happy 150th from him. He gives it to Mercedes, but the mark is taken by Peter Wilson.
I was going to say Mercedes probably Essendon's best player. He's had 25 possessions.
Been a real trier all day. And Wilson enjoying a somewhat rejuvenated career, Roscoe.
Yes, his form's been pretty good.
You didn't get excited at all over that mark that Manton took then?
I did, but I was in the middle of having a chat about Peter Wilson. I'm sorry.
The ball clean bowls James Hurd. Glenn Jakovic on the right, then on the left. Gets it back as far as Alessio. Alessio showing his skills. His kick in towards half forward. It clears both Hart and Watson. Taken by Wilson. He's dragged to the ground. Williams leaves the football behind. Then a little toe poke out to the advantage of Djakovic. With his absolute strength, breaks clear and then kicks off the left foot down towards the wing. Craig Turley sees the ball over. And the West Coast Eagles really appreciate the presence of the big man at centre-half back, Glenn Djakovic. We see Kevin Sheedy. Well, he doesn't look all that concerned. I think this is just one game they've lost and they've got to probably study it, have a good look at it and tackle the next game. Not much you can do here. 11-12 plays 4-13. But there's a look of the cat that got the cream there with Mick Malthouse as he watches his charges surge onto a fairly handy victory. McKenna, always a great contributor. Heady gets it to Banfield. Banfield's kick to a vacant centre-half forward area. The ball bounces in front of Kemp. He tries to get it out to the advantage of Evans. Evans gets it to Gotten. Gotten's quick kick has been marked by Manton. He gets the handball to O'Donnell, and the Bombers out of trouble. O'Donnell's kick's pretty good. He finds Hardwick wide at right half back.
Damien Hardwick back towards centre wing again. This time McKenna is the stumbling block. Goes into the middle. He's got a couple of options there. Hart and Turnbull. Takes the former. He thought about going short to Turnbull, but elects to go towards Heady territory. Flew from behind and showed excellent recovery powers. Gives it to Turnbull doing the roving work. Kicks towards Will Ford and puts through a behind.
Yes, and Ashley McIntosh just looks as him as to say, well, you could have handballed to me. Interesting to see Gavin Wanganeen too be given a run on the wing on Peter Matera.
79 plays 37. Anthony Danaher bring it back into play. Veteran of 229 games. This young man just starting out, Lachlan Ross. It's all ahead for him. That's not a good kick, but almost beautifully picked up by Matera. Look at him apply the tackle. Just marvellous to watch. McKenna on the other side, trouble picking it up. Now Williams under pressure towards Alessio and over the line.
The thing that's outstanding about Matera, Sandy, apart from all his skills and his running abilities, a lot of players work hard to get a second effort going. He can go 3 and 4 times with tackles up and at them, and he keeps his feet so very well. It's a great attribute to have.
James Hurd diving on the football and the umpire electing to throw it in the air once again. 7 goals rather, the advantage for the West Coast. If Essendon are beaten by 30 points or more, which it looks as though they will, it'll be a real race for a position there between they and Richmond. Richmond have gone to 8 wins, level with Essendon, and there was only 3% difference between those two sides before yesterday's and today's result. So you would think that Richmond may go over the Bombers.
Get the feeling too, Robbo, that percentage is going to play an all-important part.
Well, I think it always, yeah. I think that the players have got to remember that the game's got to be played right out, and every goal can be important in the final wrap-up. Ball forced over for a boundary throw in. Guy McKenna, one of the really polished performers in this West Coast lineup, and he's having plenty to say to Scott Cummings as the boundary umpire throws it in. Williams finding out what AFL footy's all about. The tempo, just a bit different to what he's been used to, as Evans kicks the West Coast into their forward half, and a top mark, a really tough mark taken by Chris Danaher, and he hasn't done a bad job on Brett Heady. Hasn't had many possessions, but Heady, on the other hand, has been one of the quiet players in this West Coast lineup. Matera gets it across to Djakovic. Djakovic goes down towards half forward. The mark is taken by McIntosh.
Just watching Matera, he's still running down towards half forward. He's only metres away from Sumic. He's going fast, he's still going Matera, and Sumic wants to go short. He doesn't. Peter Sumic will go back.
Be a big boot from here.
Are they ironical cheers for Sumic?
Well, I think,
He's your favourite son.
Oh, yeah, my word. And I think, again, the important part from his game today, Robbo, is the fact he's got through the game without straining a hamstring or doing any damage to his legs. Some big games coming up for the Eagles too, so they want him.
There's one other stat he's missing so far as a goal. He might fix that now.
Well, he could. It's a big kick from here.
Limited opportunities for him. He's directly in front. but it will be a very long kick with this ball. It's a little heavier than normal. Got to be very close. Is that a mark? Danaher says no and sees it over the line.
Yeah, Ryan Turnbull just asking the umpire, Anton McKernan, that he thought it was a mark.
Under 4 minutes remaining. 43 points the margin. Jakovic scoring from behind. But Hurd has been given the football. Goes straight on with it to Anthony Danaher. Watson coming in to fly. Ross in trouble. Wilson steals it. He's got Jakovic on the outer side alone, and he just casually ambles it towards Hart. He's under a bit of pressure, but he bounces off the tackle and gets clear. Kicks up towards the 50-metre line, but only as far as Danaher, who repels that thrust, kicks back towards half-forward. He's tried his heart out all day. Waterman towards ball. They swamp him. Cummings has a shot at goal for Essendon. Which way will it bounce? It bounces through. 3 goals to Scott Cummings. And 37 points is the margin.
Well, he would certainly have wanted to play a little better and had the side play a lot better in his return to Perth. But from limited opportunities, I think he's done a reasonable job. And he's only played a limited amount of football, just his 3rd game for the Bombers. So he can only get better.
Well, they've had plenty of good players, the West Coast Eagles, in this performance this afternoon. And there's a battler for Essendon, Steve Alessio, but his kick has been marked by McKenna. And he is just such a polished performer. Hand pass drops in short. Could have nearly been a free kick to Simons there. McKenna back to mop up, and Ball has marked it right half back. 2.5 minutes left in the game. Ball, who's been a solid performer in the West Coast defence today, kicks down towards the wing, and a good mark will be paid to Steve Alessio. He's just behind the wing, looking to maybe hand pass it off, then decides to kick the wobbly old punt kick in towards half forward, and Buick marks on his chest. Players getting a little tired. The kicks not going anywhere near as far as they were earlier in the day. Hurd takes a good mark on his chest, diving away to the right, and James Hurd is within scoring distance.
He's certainly lifted his rating. He's had a lot of the football, particularly in this last quarter.
Not bad stats, were they? 14 and 12. Could cap it off here with a goal, but he tries to kick it a little bit too hard, and it slews off the side of his boot. The umpire's found a free kick. It's going to Watson. Calthorpe's in all sorts of trouble. We thought earlier that he had a shoulder injury, didn't we?
Yes, and he did, and he's the one getting the free kick because he was sandwiched there and got interfered with by, appears to be Worsfold. Not too flash.
Well, that could spell bad news. We have another look at what happened there to...
Yeah, the umpire saying that Worsfold kept him out of the game, out of the contest, by not looking at the footy. Like a shepherding infringement.
So the free kick with Calthorpe is only about 15 metres out, but a tight angle. It'll still take a pretty good kick to score a goal here. And he hooks it across the face and just squeezes it in the finish for one behind to Essendon. The difference, we saw Matera kick 2 fantastic goals in the first and third quarters, I think, from much the same area. And on that occasion there, Calthorpe couldn't thread it through.
Yes, a couple of very telling goals in the third quarter. Peter Matera, Wanganeen over the line. Inside the last 30 seconds, the West Coast Eagles triumphant here at Subiaco as Alessio comes in from the back but goes straight to Hart, who kicks it high towards centre wing. Hetty and Danaher leaning on each other, and Mann comes over the top. Turley a chance. Off to Brent Hetty, who kept his feet wide to Lewis, a little too wide, and over the line. But that's just about the ball game. It will be a fairly long trip back over the Nullarbor for the Bombers, who I'm sure will regroup. But the honours today are with the West Coast Eagles. Big winners 11-14. In fact, they were kept goalless in the final quarter, adding just 3 behinds, and Essendon managed with 1 goal 6 in the final term to move to 5-14. But 6-goal winners, the West Coast Eagles, Tim Watson and John Worsfold leave the ground. Worsfold quick to get off.
Jason Ball and Scott Cummings having a chat in the middle of the ground. They were great teammates at Swan Districts. Good to see that. Good mates off the ground.
Well, an excellent day for Jason Ball.
But he did very, very well.
Scott Cummings finished with 3 goals, 1 in the first, 1 in the second, and 1 in the last quarter. As Johnny Rogers is down there, I can see him with the racehorse Peter Matera. John?
The racehorse indeed. Well done, mate. Great game.
Yeah, it was a great game. It was a team effort, and the boys put their body on the line for Wooshy today, and I think everyone deserved to win today, and Wooshy can be proud, I think.
I was going to ask you about that special effort for him.
Oh, certainly. You know, he's a captain. He's stuck with us. He's just a great team man and a great captain, and just a great bloke to have on the side, and I think we just showed him what we can do.
Yeah, a wonderful example he sets.
Yeah, that's right. He's courageous, and he tries to do the good things all the time, and he just does the team things, and you know, you can't ask him for anything else.
Mate, the crowd's waiting for you. Won't hold you up. Great game. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, mate.
Yes, and looking at this crowd, there seems to be a lot of coat waving, and I wonder if the Eagles
It'll
fans...
come back to haunt him, I think.
I wonder if they're saying something to Sheeds. Remember this? But a standing ovation.
Every dog has their day.
Oh, of course.
This is one day, maybe it didn't happen.
No worries. They
The
can,
next time they play each other.
the Bombers enjoyed it last time. It's the Eagles' opportunity today in front of their home crowd, and good luck to them as they head up the race. Ryan Turnbull, one of the last to go through, but a standing ovation for the West Coast Eagles. In fact, both teams deserving the plaudits of the crowd in very trying
What about
conditions.
the crowd? Don't you think they deserve some congratulations?
My word, they
that
do.
bucketed down early.
Umbrellas banned.
About the second term, wasn't it? When
Yep,
it just came
it
down.
really did bucket down.
Here's Kevin Sheed
Look,
leaving
Sheed
the
is
ground now.
stopping the coat waving treatment now. Remember this, they say. Yeah, he does. Just puts the hand up. Okay, you're the winners today. But don't worry, we'll be back. And I'm sure they will. So, the fans start to head out. An excellent crowd. It was a sellout, this game. As the Eagles go down into the rooms. They're sitting on top of the ladder after this win still. The West Coast 11-14-80. The Bombers 5-14-44.
I'll be after more gold at the World Championships in Indianapolis. So take out a Trust Bank home or personal loan and you could be there too. Ask your bank for details.
I do a lot of travelling around, but I've never seen a shop that can match Routley's. Not even in Melbourne or Sydney is there the range to choose from like you have here. You're pretty lucky, really. The very best Australian and imported clothes. And Routley's prices are the best I've seen. In fact, Routley's say that they'll match the price if you can buy cheaper anywhere else. And they mean it. That's what I like about Routley's. You know you're getting the best quality and the very best service all the time. Routley's men's department stores in Hobart and Launceston.
Children, it's so hard keeping up with them.
Because every day they're looking for new excitement, new surprises. In Kinder Surprise, they get an exciting new toy every time. Over 100 new discoveries, new surprises.
Look at my plane. Great. Look at my sailing ships. Terrific.
And the chocolate is Kinder with more milk and less cocoa.
Surprise, toy and chocolate. Kinder Surprise. 3 wishes in one.
Hold everything. Super Jaws is here. The ultimate portable workbench from Triton. It's as easy to use as falling off a log. Super Jaws is poles apart from its competition. You can do smashing work on it and never lose your grip. We'd love to tell you more about this hot item, but we're pressed for time. So the plain truth is, if you want to get an edge on your work, you'd better lock up the door, get on your bike, and go to a hardware store so you can take one home with you. Super Jaws from Triton. Anything else is a bit of a grind, really. Super Jaws, another great Aussie invention from Triton.
Available in Hobart from BBC Hardware, all stores Hobart, Glenorchy Home Hardware, Main Road Glenorchy, and also available at K&D Warehouse Mitre 10, Melville Street, Hobart.
This is your captain speaking. To get 2 airline tickets to almost anywhere in Australia for the price of 1, get 2 large Pizza Haven pizzas for the low price of $16.90. So ring 1312 for 1 and order 2 today.
In trying conditions, the game well and truly over by three-quarter time. The Eagles adding just 3 points in the final term, but running out big winners, 11-14-80. The Bombers, 5-14-44. Another of the big games today was between Carlton and Adelaide. Let's have a look at the half-time score between these two sides. The Blues had a big second quarter. They booted 8 goals, and at half-time led 11-6 to the Adelaide Crows, 5-8-38. Let's now have a look at some of the highlights of the second half.
To kick it to centre half forward. Madden, read that time by McDermott. His kick is to centre half forward to Ingerson on his chest in the end. Kicked out of bounds on the floor with the siren had gone at the end of the first half. That one looks better. That looks like it's a goal. It is for Ingerson. Went for the punch. Ball on the ground. Tregenza onto it. Christou completely outnumbered, but still in the contest. Now Tregenza. Let's see what he does with this one. Centering kick, not good. Kluzek outside 50, chips it to Ingerson, takes the mark, yes. Bounced off his chest, had a second go.
Liptak gets another run.
Well, Ingerson for his second goal in a couple of minutes. That looks all right. He's got it. Wren and Sporting over the back. Wellman's handball. McDermott, robbed brilliantly by Williams. To Lynn to kick his second goal. Wonderful play, Diesel. Dean and Maynard. Christou.
Well done, Maynard.
Yes, to Liptak. Liptak to full forward. Ingerson provided the lead. Oh, good mark.
She's had a good quarter, hasn't he? Mitchell off the cook.
Kicking from 40 metres, Ingerson. Looks a goal. He's got his third. Oh, got it taken off him too easily.
Oh, look at Kernahan.
Caught.
I'll get it down to Kernahan. He's 50 metres clear.
Yes, here we go. Williams down to Kernahan on his own. Have a look at this.
Well, that was on for about 30 seconds.
Yep.
It's basic stuff.
Kernahan to kick his third. He's got it.
Didn't fly for it. Over the back is Williams. There's some good shepherding going on here. Look at the way Williams weaved his way through the pack. And then look at the vision as he gets it out wide here to heave up. Racing in the goal is Gleeson. Gleeson chips it in and puts it through for another one.
Hannah. Wren was there. Williams again. It's been fantastic, Williams. Oh, here's Gleeson all on his own. Couldn't quite hold it. Kernahan on his own in the goal square. Kernahan keeps it in, held on to, goes off the ground. Chance now for Heaver. Normally kicks these. He's got it.
Matthew Hogg from the halfback. Oh, look at this. Williams on his own in the centre of the ground. Plenty of time to go wide with a hand pass. Well, waiting underneath it was Elvin. Good tackle by Modra. Silvani races clear. Silvani over the top to Hannah. What can he do? Hannah from 40 metres. Kicks a goal. It's close. Is it his fourth? Yes.
Well, the Blues showing the way. They had an 8-goal second term. They had an 8-goal final quarter, and they have belted the Crows. 2016, 136. The Adelaide Crows, 10-16, 76. And more bad news for the Crows because Scott Lee was reported on a charge against Steve Kernahan. Now let's check the votes as seen by Gerard Healy at that game today between Carlton and Adelaide. Greg Williams, what a wonderful season he's having. Best on-ground performance against 2 of his teammates, Peter Dean, who picked up 2, and Mill Hanna, who picked up 1 vote. But Diesel Williams steaming towards possibly a second Brownlow medal. We'll take a break, more shortly.
Tanks for the 21st century. Fiberglass tanks by Tank World that don't taste, rust or leak. Australia's largest range of sizes and colours are delivered free just about anywhere. And after 20 years, a Tank World tank still won't taste, rust or leak. Tank World guarantee it.
The most important ingredient in cooking is confidence, and that's just what you'll get with Confident Cooking, the compact weekly guide that shows you step by step all the tips and techniques that make an accomplished cook. You'll soon be peeling off perfect chocolate leaves, and by wetting wooden kebab skewers they won't burn. Discover how a simple marinade makes marvellous microwave chicken, and 2 containers like these are all you need for stunning ice bowls. So for ideas plus practical know-how, start Confident Cooking.
Part 1, great value at only 75 cents at your newsagent now.
You know, people want a lot of different things from our forests. It's a real challenge, but that's what I like about it.
And we've set aside a wildlife habitat strip along this creek to provide protection.
All right, Tim. These roads aren't just for the forestry. They're for tourists, rafters, beekeepers, everybody.
Chalonalobus Morio, 68.8, 20-year-old regrowth.
Working out here, even in the rain, is bellissimo.
We need to make sure that all species are catered for in our forests, even ones this small.
Last year, Tasmanian businesses exported $750 million worth of forest products. We supplied most of the logs.
We've got 6 million seedlings on the go here.
By managing our forests, our future is growing stronger.
This time next year, they'll all be in the ground.
You wouldn't credit it. Raining again here in Perth. I don't know this West Australian weather, Roscoe.
It'll clear up by tomorrow.
Well, it was telling because really, unfortunately, for those people viewing around Australia and here at the ground, the Eagles virtually sealed in the first quarter, didn't they? 5-1.
5 goals to 1 just was a great start for them. And there's a couple of free kicks that went their way. 50-metre penalty to Ryan Turnbull, which gave him a goal. But they just, even about halfway through that first quarter, I thought they just looked more composed, were controlling the conditions or handling the conditions better. They were prepared to play in front. And when you do that and run off each line and your players are in front, when the ball spills free, as often as it does in these sorts of conditions, you get first chance to the footy. And their body strength, I thought, was better in those tight conditions than what Essendon was. And they didn't have Essendon a player across half forward, which you mentioned, or Billy Duckworth mentioned in that interview with John Rogers, that was going to stand up. Hurd was good in that last quarter, but it's too late.
Yeah. As far as voting was concerned in our Challenge Bank Sports World Player of the Year, did you find it difficult?
Oh, look, there were about, I would say, 8 Eagles players I could have put in there, and there were a few that really could consider themselves unlucky, but I thought Main Waring, even though he went off about halfway through that last quarter, was the outstanding player on the ground because he got the ball cleanly. Robbo mentioned a few times during the call that he handled the ball cleanly and got the ball going forward with some distance. Djakovic, even though Hurd had perhaps the better of him towards the end of that last quarter, I still thought that he was the stumbling block across half-back and was very creative, and they found it hard to go past him. And Jason Ball was one who got into the game and did a good job on the big fellows, and for a fellow with little experience, I just thought he controlled these conditions very well, and particularly for a big bloke, I thought he stood up very well, and apologies to, as I say, 5 or 6 others, but that's the way it goes.
Yes, all right, let's have a look at the progressives now. Greg Williams, as we saw, just picked up votes in the match against Adelaide, so he is now an outright leader and leading by 3 in the Challenge Bank Sports World Player of the Year. Greg Williams has 17. Carey and Glenn Djakovic are in equal second spot on 14, and Main Waring too is climbing the ladder. He is on 12 votes, 5 behind the leader Williams. Then comes Ben Allen of Hawthorn and Chris Grant of Footscray, who's having an excellent year. Now, goal kickers, as it stands at the moment, well, the great man Ablett is just 13 off yet another ton. 10 for the weekend. Nice day at the office. He's moved to 87. Jason Dunstall, 5 to move to 74 in his 200th game. Tony Modra, 3 today, well held against Carlton, moves to 58. Simon Minton-Connell, unfortunately, was stretchered from the ground. Let's hope that he's going to be okay. He didn't score a goal while he was on the ground. Steve Kernahan kicked 5 for the Blues, and Severio Rocca got 4 for the Pies to move to 44 at this stage of proceedings. We'll take a break, more shortly.
This season's AFL, proudly brought to you by your local Mitsubishi dealers. The Painter's Pot, Tasmanian Breweries, Routley's Men's Department Stores, AAMI, The Trust Bank, Nike, and Medibank Private.
Jump around now. It's crunch time, coming at ya. Jump up and get down. Crunch time! Show us what you got.
Yeah, time to get shaken, need yours for the take. Cause it's slicing and dicing, your shake up racing. Coast to coast.
Mitsubishi dealers are putting the crunch on prices, so score yourself a great deal now. It's crunch time, coming at you.
Aren't holidays great? If you get there. And now AAMI will help you do just that. Should you break down or have an accident away from home, we'll arrange a free rental car and emergency accommodation. It's just another service from Amy Assist. And it's free with every comprehensive policy.
What's best about Kinder Surprise? Is it the surprise, the toy, the chocolate, or the money?
Money went up to $1,000 instantly just by looking inside a Kinder Surprise. Child's play.
Now there's an even bigger surprise in Kinder Surprise.
You know, people want a lot of different things from our forests. It's a real challenge, but that's what I like about it.
And we've set aside a wildlife habitat strip along this creek to provide protection.
All right, Tim. These roads aren't just for the forestry. They're for tourists, rafters, beekeepers, everybody.
Chalonalobus Morio, 68.8, 20-year-old regrowth.
Working out here, even in the rain, is bellissimo.
We need to make sure that all species are catered for in our forests, even ones this small.
Last year, Tasmanian businesses exported $750 million worth of forest products. We supplied most of the logs.
We've got 6 million seedlings on the go here.
By managing our forests, our future is growing stronger.
This time next year, they'll all be in the ground.
Talleys, the sporting professionals, have 50% off all football boots.
Yeah, I'd like to see that.
And Kyle Wilson drops Spider Klein.
Oh, yeah? I'd like to see that. 50% off all football boots.
I can't believe that.
Talleys, Hobart, Kingston and Launceston stores only.
I've been unwrapped.
And I've been wrapped.
Oh, yeah!
Wrapped is best.
The 1994 AFL Premiership League ladder, brought to you by Foster's.
Yes, coming up to round 17, and let's have a look at the ladder as the finals race really does hot up. West Coast on top and a game clear with a healthy percentage. Then comes Carlton in outright second spot. Those two have cleared away from Hawthorn and Collingwood, both with the same number of games. Then comes North Melbourne, Richmond in 6th spot, Essendon in 7th spot, and Geelong holding down 8th with Footscray, Melbourne and Brisbane just outside the 8 on percentage. So it's going to make for a couple of games next week. Very, very interesting indeed, especially on Sunday. Brisbane plays Richmond, Adelaide plays West Coast. That game at 5:30 Eastern Time, so check your local guides for details. Hope you've had a good day. For now, goodbye from Perth.
Well, that's the thing about, that's what I like about, yeah, that's the thing about football. I got a long
tram to my favorite ground. Use my legs, use my voice, make some noise, support the boys, and that's what football means to me. That's how I like my footy to be. And well, that's the thing about, that's what I like about, yeah, that's the thing about football. That's what I like about, yeah, that's the thing about football. That's what I like about, yeah, that's the thing about football. That's what I like about, yeah, that's
This has been a 7 Sports production.
football.